just dropped to the ground, and then people started running.
It was literally like a scene out of a horror movie.
And I just played dead.
I got a text message from my daughter and my 2 nieces, please come and get us.
Please come get us out because he's about to kill us.
Nobody knew what to do.
He was like, I don't want to look up because he's, if I look up, he might shoot me.
There was bodies everywhere, and I was crawling. I just kept crawling.
I don't know if he was left in the club, if he got shot. He said he was going to die and he loved me. That's the last thing I heard. He's my only child.
My son, he got shot 3 times.
And it is with great sadness that I share we have not 20 but 50 casualties.
I still think that I'm going to wake up and everything's going to be normal, but it's not. This is what happened. There is no going back.
There's always room for forgiveness. I'm not angry at the gunman. I'm not angry about the situation. I'm going to forever miss my son. But I've been taught to believe that my son knew the Lord Jesus Christ. And so I still have the hopes that I'm going to see him again one day.
We're doctors, we're lawyers, we're teachers, we're brothers, we're sisters. This community's just been devastated right now.
We need to support each other. We need to love each other. And we will not be defined by a hateful shooter.
We're going to show what the good heart of humanity is, not the bad, horrible part of it is. And you cannot get your message across by killing people. You're nothing but thugs and murderers. And we will show you that we are a better community and a better America than this.
You're hearing on a horrible, tragic, violent day the word love. And that's what we need to continue to do.
The pain is still so fresh, is it not? Hello, everybody. I'm Brad Means. Thank you for joining us for this special edition of the Means Report. We appreciate you being here on this Father's Day, where typically we have a Father's Day edition of the Means Report and talk about all things related to dear old Dad, but we knew that was not entirely appropriate this week in light of what happened just 7 short days ago. So we're going to study Orlando. We're going to look at what happened there and how it impacts us as we as a community continue to try to process what happened in Central Florida. And I cannot think of two better experts to join me to begin this segment of the Means Report than Pastor Rehn-Sosbe, he of the Metropolitan Community Church of Our Redeemer in Augusta, and Imam Mohamed Jamal Daoudi of the Islamic Community Center, also right here in Augusta. Reverend and Imam, thank you so much for being with us. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry about what happened. I know it's been a tough week. We just saw it in Central Florida, but for you all as well.
Thank you.
Rick, let me start with you. Hours after this news broke last Sunday, you had a very well-attended service at the Metropolitan Community Church of Our Redeemer. Tell me about the turnout there and how that made you feel in light of what had just happened.
Yeah, we had almost a full house. There were well over 100 people in our sanctuary. And it's amazing, how social media can get the word out quickly.
Yeah.
And another person who I had not met was the one who actually started to organize, and then I offered our facility to use. And it was very overwhelming in many ways, but it was also a wonderful time for all of us to be able to rally together and to offer support and comfort over such a senseless act.
Imam, what about the Islamic community? Have you all had a chance to get together in the days since the massacre?
The very next day, the board and many active members in the community got together, and we start studying and analyzing what's happening, and to find and have our own stand and our own statement, create our own statement in this regard, and which way to respond, which way to clarify, because as you know, Muslim community have been going into that cycle of event and condemnation, and condemnation. So we were sending all what we have received from the media, and we decided immediately to come up with a statement, press release statement, and working with the interfaith groups on having kind of interfaith service in order to share with the targeted community.
Has anybody stopped you on the street or in the community this past week and said anything to you, good or bad?
There was a gentleman who has been harassing trying to harass and do some kind of stuff. He stopped his car across the street from the center with some kind of negative and bad slogan on his shirt and on his car. He stopped for some times and then he moved on. Fortunately enough, we rely on the good sense and goodwill of our local community around us.
Rick, what's your message to your parishioners, especially those in the gay community who were hit so hard by this because it happened at a gay nightclub? What do you tell them?
You tell them to not be afraid, but to be cautious, to be aware, and that this is not love that we so strongly endorse, and that we can rally and support one another, but we should never cower in fear or be afraid of what might happen.
Would you hold your husband's hand in public these days?
Absolutely.
Without fear?
Without fear.
What do you say to people to prevent them from going down, Imam, that radicalized route? Do you ever see young people who might be so inclined, and what would your message be?
We need, at this time of hardships and adversity, we need to get together and unite together and stand in solidarity with everybody. But this is what this country is based on and built on diversity. And this is what makes us really strong, our unity in this kind of diversity. Hatred and hate speech will go nowhere and will give no result in any way. I may disagree with your lifestyle, but I would never ever or should kind of take that into my hands and try to change it that way. We have our political or democracy kind of channels that we can speak of, we can write, we can speak about things, but we should, at the end, we are citizens of this country, we have to get together and stay together.
You know, you said something pretty profound a moment ago when you talked about how this is really a cycle where we'll have something like this happen on the national scene and then we'll come to you for reaction. We're doing it right now. And sadly, over and over again it happens, and you continually preach the message of peace. Is it offensive, Imam, that the media seeks you out for your reaction because of what really in the big picture are a few people making a lot of noise? Is it the equivalent perhaps of us trying to find a Christian minister if a God-fearing skinhead attacks somebody?
It is offensive personally to me, it's offensive to my faith, and it is offensive to the standards and principles of this country. Mm-hmm. You know, to paint the whole community or the whole faith for the actions of somebody that I'm not responsible on. I don't know what is the motivation of others. Mm-hmm. I don't represent them. They don't represent me. Why should I have to stand up and defend myself and my faith every time? At the same time, we are offended by the double standard sometimes. Just recently, young man, 20 years old, have been caught by the police trying to target a gay pride parade, you know, in Los Angeles. Would our Christian fellows feel necessity to defend themselves? So this kind of double standard, really, that when I'm talking about the cycle, yeah. This is what we are. It is offensive, it is painful, it is disturbing sometimes that everything, whenever something happens, we put our hand on our heart and say, we hope and pray that he is not a Muslim.
That's it.
Just because I would be called to, you know, what do you think about this? It's not me, it's not my faith.
Rick.
It should not be. And I should not, I should not allow the radicals and the extremists to define myself and define my faith.
Well, I think your presence is going a long way in doing that for sure. Rick, you have been consistent in your message of peace and love, but man, sometimes you all as a community have got to just say, this is enough, we have to fight back. So my question is, can you love your way through this? Are these bad guys ever going to say, wow, they're so passive and nice, let's stop being monsters?
Well, you know, as the hashtag we see since marriage equality, you know, love wins. And I believe that that mantra is still true, that love really does win. And that we really have no other choice, especially as people of faith, to do anything else but love. I think that we can have righteous indignation and stand firm for what we believe is true, also what we believe is horrible behavior. But in the end, I think we need to do it, albeit firmly, also in love. And I do agree with the Imam that, it is a shame that anytime these things happen, that, if it is a person of whatever faith, Muslim faith, that they are all automatically lumped into the same category, and I don't believe that's fair.
Yeah, I tell you, as a journalist, there's a fear almost when these things happen, and we call these gentlemen or gentlemen like them or ladies like them and say, will you give your reaction? And I sometimes fear that they will say, no, we're sick of it. What part of these guys aren't a part of us do you not get? Imam, most people are probably ignorant of what goes on within the Muslim community. Do you give sermons on peace when you go to church together? Does the Quran have any verses or passages that emphasize peace, emphasize the antithesis of what ISIS is doing that we might be able to hear from you, or just generally hear to say, oh, okay, they are a peace-loving people, as he says?
So many verses. All my sermons based on love and harmony. All my articles that can testify to what I'm saying. My involvement in the interfaith activities, churches, temples, synagogues, others. One of the very beautiful and main verse that I always carry with me, that there is absolutely no compulsion in religion. I may disagree with you on the way you approach God or you want to find your happiness in this life, but I would never ever jeopardize or manipulate my relationship with you. This is your belief, it's between you and God. But as a human being, as a citizen, we have to live together and help each other to live together.
Let me take my final minute for this, and we'll let each of you answer. I once had a Christian minister tell me he wanted to get his hands on a non-believer who I knew, because he said, if I could work on him, I could change things. If you could go face-to-face with a member of ISIS, if you could go face-to-face with a member of ISIS, could you change him? Could you have some conversion through that conversation, Rick?
I think that true conversion and true change has to come from within and from the heart. I think that we need to keep having the conversation. We need to keep speaking truth in love, as I mentioned earlier, because I do believe that as it was and still is in the gay rights issue, we have seen that tide turn somewhat, but it also has a long way to go. But it will change if we keep having the conversation.
How about you? Could you say, man, you're not being a good Muslim?
For them, I am not a good Muslim, and I'm on their maybe watch list also.
Yeah, but could you tell them, you think you're doing this in the name of Islam? You're not.
Yes, my message to you, ISIS and radicals and whoever extremists that will catch this clip, you are outlaws. You don't represent. You will not, and you don't, and you will never represent Islam and represent my faith. And I will not allow in any way, as long as I'm alive, that you hijack my faith, my beautiful faith, my peaceful faith.
Imam Mohamed Jamal Daoudi, Reverend Rehn-Sosbe, I cannot thank you both enough. Again, I am sorry for your week and for your pain, and I'm grateful for your time.
Thank you very much.
When we come back, where do we go from here? What happens in the war on terror? What can the United States do to stop incidents like this? A political scientist from Augusta University when the Means Report rolls on.